I actually went to GRCC because actually both of my parents had ended up going to GRCC. My mom went and she did the nursing program here, and then my dad, when his company, he got laid off from his job. He had started college earlier but didn't finish, but he completed the rest of the credits that he needed. So I ended up, like right now currently, like I said, I just got my associate's degree 2 years in, and I'm debt-free. I don't have any debt.
So I was at Mel Trotter for a while. I was working with Michigan Works at the time, and I wanted to study. I had to go through reports and paperwork and forms, and it took me about 2 months to get it to them before I started the program. But I was focused and it was happening because I wanted to be there. I went into MTech, and the first person I see is Jeff. So we were just kind of talking a while, and he was like, "You're gonna do this." I said, "You sure? You just met me." He said, "You're gonna do this."
Well, I started with the college in 1987, so a long time ago, and I started as a student employee. I was in IT. I was the first person on the help desk. I worked in research, and then from there I went to human resources for about 10 years. Went to the Lakeshore after that, and then came to arts and sciences, and was an associate dean up until my retirement.
I always tell people, like when people ask about CC, I always give it the highest praise because seriously, I had some of the best professors here. The teacher that left the biggest impression on me was Miss Forbes. I had always struggled with math, all through school. She was the one that started the building blocks for me to actually learn and understand math, and from that point on, I ended up going all the way through calculus. Amy Kaderna, she was my chemistry teacher, and she was a really great chemistry teacher. And Mr. Forbes, because he lived his profession. Also, Todd Tiano, he was a really great mentor. The professors here actually do really care, and it's nice that you get that individualized attention.
Class start, throughout the whole time, I had no place to stay. So I slept in my car. Mel Trotter called me, I'd say around November, and finally we had kind of a safe haven so I can study and do what I needed to do. Miss Kimber was always she was understanding, but still stern on, you still gotta make it. You have to make it for yourself and your daughter, and she pushed me always. So finally I graduate, and St. Mary's called me and said, "Hey, you need a job?" And I said, "Well, yeah, of course." Miss Kimber was one who said, "You're gonna make it." She said, "You're special." And she said, "When you write your book, make sure GRCC is in it." And I was like, "Well, of course, because without GRCC, and you guys helping me, I would have lost my place here." They worked very hard to make sure that I graduated, that I made it, and and I at least got a home and did what I needed to do. So they helped a great deal.
There's something about helping students and watching them proceed and pursue, and it's not something that a typical person outside of education can ever understand. It's so special. The people there are just outstanding. I had a lot of friends, I knew that, but I didn't realize I had the friends that I had until I got sick last year. That's another reason why GRCC is very special, because they let me focus on me instead of the stress of what was taking place around me. And for that, I'll always be grateful.
They're just really great people, Not only did my professors teach the class, they also, they went above teaching the class. So I feel 100% confident in going on and continuing.
They checked up on me just to make sure I was all right. I think they gave me my wings, and once I flew, they were like, "She's fine. We'll let her be for a little bit." So they helped me a great deal.
When you have people around you that care for you and support you in your role, in the end, that always plays out in the student experience. Whether we know they see it or feel it, they see it and they feel it.